Out of all the ones I've made so far, this one honestly is probably the most valuable. It's also probably the easiest one as well. And this trick has been in since Legion, so I'd expect it to never change, unlike some of the ones. You almost always get to this boss with plenty of time. And what we're actually doing is just trading time for success rate. If you get past the first two bosses in this key, you almost always have an upgrade in front of you. So let's take a look at what's actually going on here, and I will take a look at exactly how long this adds to the fight as well for you, just in case you're worried about that offsetting the value to it. Yeah, we can actually do like decent damage here as Blood DK. Also like Rune Weapon, but I don't really know if that's worth it. Probably not. Probably better to save it. Never seen this strat before. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on this. Maybe we'll make a video on this weekend. I can actually do a lot of damage, and now the pets have too, so you can do damage too. I've seen a lot of people stand back there as well. Oh, what happened here? Oh. We done. So what we have here is exceedingly straightforward. Best way I could describe it is you see this big ring around him. It's not necessarily a functional part of the encounter, but it is just something aesthetic there on the platform. Don't enter that. That's the TLDR. You can stand anywhere else you like. But the real reason you do this is because it allows you to then have all of your offensive CDs available to blast in the final phase. Like this is like a two-pronged strategy. This is setting up an easier third phase. One thing that I don't really understand is these comments here as well. This guy says go and the other guy says go. Like, where are we going? The boss is supposed to transition away from the room at 30. Don't understand what they're talking about. If anybody has any idea what this is supposed to mean, maybe they have experienced some bug where if you don't engage him before 30, he bugs out or something like that. I haven't experienced that personally. Even when you do this just standing there the whole time, at 30 he leaves. So the weird thing is though, it's like supposed to be 30 that he does the portal, but he actually kind of does it at like 32 I've found. But after that he enters the final phase of the fight, and let me show you what that looks like too, because you'll see what doing this part of the strategy enables for that part of the strategy and why this makes it such an easy fight. Another thing you can do here is not interrupt for the whole duration, and then he basically does nothing in this phase either. You see a lot of people just instantly interrupt this too, which is a big issue. It really makes this fight a lot harder. The thing is these balls. If these balls all expire, it can be very dangerous. You miss that. But it's dead. See how much easier that makes it? Because then you have all your CDs up for the last phase and you don't have to waste anything at all in phase 2. So you see the big thing is just allowing you to use your CDs on the pull of the fight and then not have any pressure to need anything at all in phase 2. You're almost in this like recharge period, and then everything will be up again for phase 3. And you actually see in the footage we go from 30% to 15% before we even interrupt the boss. If you guys are doing this on like lower keys as well, you'll actually just straight up kill the boss before he even needs to be interrupted. If you did that second phase normally, you'd probably find that, you know, there's a lot going on. It's really not any easier than the third phase on it. There's just not ads. But again, this is all trading your time for your success rate. So let's actually take a look at how much time you are actually trading here, and you'll be surprised, I think. So we pull up here at 4:18 in the dungeon's timer. And while we're doing this, you know, we can do a fair amount of damage too. Like people are saying like, oh, this is only really valuable as a heavy ranged comp. I mean, even if you have 0 range, this is still the play in my eyes. So in this group, we actually have only one ranged DPS. We have 2 survival hunters though, who can do a fair amount of DPS at range, and myself, I can also do a fair amount of DPS at ranged. I can just keep spamming Death Caress and Death Coil, and you know, you could actually get a fair amount of damage that, throw D&D down, summon the pet, you know, all that stuff. But here we see he is leaving the platform at about 3:05. He starts the mechanic, he leaves it at about 3 exactly. So 1 minute and 18 seconds in this phase. Do you think that is worth it? Absolutely to me. I mean, it is a tyrannical boss, first of all. So 23 tyrannical, getting it into a 1 minute phase here. All in all, you can actually see that the fight was under 4 minutes. 4-minute fight on Tyrannical on, you know, some of the higher keys, really not that hard to believe. So I think it's the way, man. I really do. You guys are welcome to make that decision on your own. But after a dungeon full of bosses that challenge your ability to actually kill them, I do think it's nice to finally have a little bit of a security blanket here. Always unfortunate when you get to the last boss of a dungeon and the run is going somewhat smooth and then you wipe there and the key disbands. I would take that out of play every time if possible. So I hope it helps. If you guys have any questions, please do leave a comment. And if you have anything that you've seen and want me to take a look at, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you guys take a look at the playlist. We have a good amount of stuff in there now. Also added the stuff from season 3 that's still relevant in season 4. So I hope it helped, guys. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.